And we are on. Welcome to our latest Parents Program broadcast. And this is one of those times where we are going to answer questions. We said we would do it, and we did it last week, and we're going to do another one today. Today, Dean DeLuca and I join you from my home. We are hosting a group of students, so if you hear some crowd noise in the back, it's because we've got a group of our summer student advisors and our summer orientation staff here. They've done a wonderful job, and we just finished our last orientation session, and we figured party for them. And in between, we're ducking out so we can tape this. So,
greetings from Brookline, Massachusetts. We're about 1.5 blocks off Commonwealth Avenue, the center and heart of the Charles River campus at Boston University. So we're so glad that you're able to join us today.
Yeah, that's right. So a few things you got to know before we start. There are a few ways that you can ask. You could submit a question by calling 617-353-4126. That's 617-353-4126. And we'll get that question right here. Or you can go to the Ustream site where you watch this and just go right ahead and chat. And certainly if you are on Twitter, you can submit a question via @BUParent. That's @BUParent. So that's three ways. Call 617-353-4126. We'll get it right here. You can also do it via Twitter at @BUParent, or just right on the Ustream site. You can go ahead and submit. All right?
Excellent.
Should we get started?
Absolutely. Well, let's get right to it. So first up, we have a guest visiting us today.
I love it. A guest.
Yes.
We're going to put some guests right here on our couch.
You know, we have so many, Dean Elmore, we have so many questions and concerns from parents and students alike about the whole move-in process.
Yeah, no doubt.
And what's it like with residence life, and is there anyone there to help me or greet me and whatever? We are grateful and fortunate to have with us Assistant Dean of Students and Director of Residence Life, David Zamorsky.
Come on in, David.
David joins us. Yeah, big round of applause for Dean Zamorsky. So welcome, David.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Talk to us a little bit about the whole move-in process. How is it possible that Boston University can logistically move in nearly 12,000 undergraduates in such a short period of time?
Because people think this is an impossible task.
I think you will be surprised at how efficient and parent-friendly and student-friendly the move-in process is. You know, we have been doing this for decades, and the feedback that we receive is really pretty positive. To start,
so walk us through it.
I will.
So I drive in from New York.
Yeah. So to start,
at like 6 a.m, I can move in.
Yeah. Well. So the days for move-in, the official move-in weekend is Saturday, August 30th, Sunday, August 31st, Monday, September 1st. The hours of official move-in are 9 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. That Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Our first-year students, though, we'd like to be in by noon on Sunday in order for them to fully participate in the matriculation events that will happen on Sunday afternoon.
Right.
So with move-in, to start, when you arrive, you can expect to be directed by either Boston University Police or Boston Police, because we strategically position officers from one end of campus to the other to direct traffic and to really regulate the flow of traffic, direct traffic, and make sure folks are aware of our parking lots. Our parking lots are all open and free to parents during move-in weekend. We have a team of volunteers on Saturday and Sunday morning called the Scarlet Squad. They're sophomores, juniors, and seniors who come back early to serve as our welcome wagon, and they will be in bright red shirts. They'll greet you when you arrive. They'll direct you cart. The big laundry carts or moving carts that you can borrow. They'll physically help you unpack your car and move your cart up to your student's room and answer any questions that you may have, any immediate questions about life in residence.
That is service.
It's great.
It's
great. They also will, in every high-rise, staff the elevators to keep the elevators moving pretty efficiently up and down the floors. The residence life staff will be located at a check-in location where students will actually receive their key and other important information about their first days in residence. And it all moves along very, very well. If your student has to arrive after we've concluded the formal check-in operation, they simply need to contact the RA on call or visit their local residence life office from 7 p.m. to midnight, where we can do an abbreviated check-in, and then the student can return the very next day and go through the official process. If a student arrives after midnight when the whole office is closed, the RA on call can do the same thing. So although it would be best to arrive between official move-in hours, if you come, we'll certainly assist.
Okay. And David, one correction. bright red shirts, those bright scarlet shirts.
Correct. Yes, exactly.
And look, how long is this going to take me? Because I got to beat traffic going home. So how long is this going to take?
That's a great question. I mean,
Yeah, what do you think?
an hour.
Okay, not bad. That's not bad.
Yeah, that would be my prediction.
What about any pitfalls? If you had to say to somebody, hey, here are the kinds of things that people do that are going to really slow you down, what would be a pitfall for you?
Wow, that's a great question. Well, one may be bringing a whole lot more than you need. Because when you then put your student's property in the room and discover that perhaps there's more there than the room can accommodate, you may have to make some decisions about what to bring back home, and that could prolong that process.
And probably make sure that you got some heated good fighting that you can do as opposed to sending everybody off happy.
Right.
And David, if for some reason a daughter or a son or a set of parents move in and there's an issue with the room, whether it be a physical plan issue or a condition issue, what would be the best advice for that person to do?
I would say head to the residence life office in that particular hall. There will be staffed all day long, and we have ways to get that information communicated. If it's a facility-related matter, for example, to our facilities team. They're on call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Even though it's a long weekend, though?
Even though it's a long weekend, absolutely.
Folks are around.
Yep. We can stop by and check a room out, anyone who's in the Res Life office, to get a more clear understanding of what the concern is and perhaps provide a helpful solution on the spot.
I see we've got a caller. Should we call her and get her question?
Absolutely.
All right, great. I'm gonna.
And can I say one thing
go
about
ahead.
sustainability?
While
We will also have a number of what I would call cardboard recycling pens located from one end of campus to the other. So if property is packed in home, please don't place those empty cardboard boxes in dumpsters on campus. Place them in the local cardboard recycling bins. Last year during move-in, we recycled 25 tons of cardboard.
That's extraordinary. That's absolutely fabulous.
All right, so we got a mom on the line. I think a mom.
Okay.
Who's got a question? Let's call her. All right. Hello, Steinmetz. Hey, Lori, how are you? You are on the Parent Program Radio Show. I'm sure you can at least hear you.
Cool.
All right, very cool. All right, so where are you from? Where are you from?
I'm great.
And where are you calling us from?
I'm calling from Fair Lawn, New Jersey.
Very good. And do you have a daughter or son that's going to be attending Boston University?
I'm Fair Lawn, New Jersey.
Fair Lawn, New Jersey.
And you've got a daughter who will be attending? Well, I think there's a bit of a delay. Oh, I just lost it. I got a phone. My battery just went out. All right, we'll get you back. Ms. Steinmetz, stay right where you are. We're going to dial you back up there again. All right, here we go. And maybe we've got another question or two for David while we get Ms. Steinmetz back on the phone.
Yes, David, you mentioned about parking is open and free. Mm-hmm. Are parking lots duly noted in the area where...
Hey, Lori, sorry about that. We're just going to answer one quick question. We're going to get right to you.
Talk a little bit about where the parking lots are around in reference to the main areas that freshmen are living.
So Warren Towers has its own parking lot on the first few levels of the building. And there's a lot right below our new field behind Rich Hall where parents may park. Those are probably the closest lots for students moving into West Campus and Warren Towers. On Bay State Road, the nearest lot is probably at the end of Bay State Road, just a bit beyond our admissions reception center. So again, the police officers on site will direct you. They'll allow you to unload the car in front of the building, but then they'll keep you moving along as quickly as possible.
So the best
unless
advice,
unless you're at Warren Towers,
best advice is to follow instructions.
Follow the direction of the police officer who's positioned right in front of the hall where you're moving in.
Great.
Absolutely.
All right, Lori, let's go back to you. What's your question? We've got David Zamoyski here from our Office of Residence Life. Go ahead and give us your question.
My question is, my daughter's attending FYSOP, and I'm thrilled, but what can we do to ensure that the room is ready before 4 o'clock? Since opening ceremonies are at 5, that gives us a very small window.
Yeah, and that's
All right, well, that's a great question. A lot of people have it. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and have David start to answer that for you. And interesting, as you mentioned FYSOP, we've got Orpheosphere coming up next, and he'll be able to also talk a little bit about that. So go ahead, David.
So that's very much on our radar. And if the hall where your student is living has not been occupied this summer, then we'll do what we can to turn over all of our spaces and have them ready earlier than that 4 p.m. time that we share. And we've been pretty good about allowing that to happen. Orphea, what do your folks say to any parents who are interested or students who are interested in moving in early?
So we've got Orfeo Spear here from the Community Service Center. So Orfeo he's also going to be a guest later on the show. So while we're at it, let's go for it.
So one of the things that we do is we provide a concrete list of which residences are available at check-in. We will also be posting on our website which ones are available at that time. So my question would be, kind of depends on where they live. What can we do to ensure that they're available by 4? The earliest that we can guarantee is that it will be by 4. That being said, we will have some accommodations available, and that's actually probably a question that will come up through the night. So folks will be able to be allowed to move in up until midnight Monday night, unassisted if they need extra time without their student.
So we're working together with Orfeo's team to really to know where these rooms are and to do what we can to be sure that if the building is unoccupied, that the room is ready as soon in the day as possible. So you could check in at the hall office around noontime and see, maybe even a little bit earlier, and we'll give you a clear sense at that point about our projected time, or we might be able to issue a key at that time.
And you'll have a real-time online.
We will have a real-time online database of which residence halls are available. So our recommendation is come to FYSOP check-in first, and we'll have that list updated. Check in with us, and we'll let you know whether your residence hall is available yet.
Very good.
And we'll give you an idea.
Hey, and what time is opening ceremony? It's not at 5, is it?
It isn't at 5. We have our FYSOP meet and greet that starts at 7. Opening ceremonies will start by 8 p.m. Might start a little bit earlier. So we hope to get rolling then.
So Laura, you got a little bit more time between, let's say at 4 o'clock, but opening ceremonies actually start closer to 8 o'clock.
And to give Lori and all the other mums and dads out there a little additional reassurance, history has shown us in the past that a clear majority of folks are long in by 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So we'll do everything we can to do to accommodate your needs.
Very good. All right. Hey, and Lori, thanks for calling in. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
David, let's go back to you with another one. This is from Tammy from New Hampshire. And Tammy asks, will her student receive a move-in date and time slot to move into Rich Hall?
Oh, no. You're welcome at any point. Any time between 9 and 5:30 on Saturday the 30th, any time between 9 a.m. and noon on Sunday the 31st. We'll be ready for you. Or if you arrive after 5:30, we'll be ready as well.
Hey, David, here's this other thing that comes up. Some people find out that we actually open our halls on Wednesday. I believe that's August 27th.
Yes.
You know, can I move in early so I can get the better side of the 180 square feet? I mean, that's what I want to do. And do you recommend that?
Yeah, well, I mean, I know that there are students for any number of reasons who need to come in a bit early, and it may be because of an activity or a job, or because of family travel plans. So if you need to come in early, you are welcome to come in between 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. Wednesday the 27th, Thursday the 28th, or Friday the 29th. The thing to know, though, is the first meal in our dining rooms on campus is breakfast on Saturday, August 30th. So if you do move in early, we'll issue you the key and check you in. We don't have the Scarlet Squad there to welcome you and assist you with move-in, but the Res Life staff is there. We have RAs on call in the evening. The operation is up and running. We just don't have dining service until Saturday morning.
Okay.
Speaking of dining, my understanding that during orientation, the folks in the dining service office actually extended an invitation to parents as their guests to join them for a meal?
So when your son or daughter swipes into the dining room for a meal on Saturday, they're welcome to bring family members in, courtesy of dining services.
Can they do it Sunday too?
Sunday's
My
a great
father would
question.
ask to do it Saturday, Sunday, and Friday too.
I'm gonna
Breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
I'm going to
Breakfast,
say
lunch, and dinner.
Sunday
That's what my
morning up
father would
until
do.
noon. I think when Scott Scott Rosario from Dining Services extends that invitation during orientation, it's during those 2 days. On Saturday?
Yeah, my dad would want to do that.
Yeah, I think he'd let you in more than once.
No one's going to turn you
Gonna
away.
turn you away.
Hey, just remind people, if you have a question, call 617-353-4126, or you can use the Ustream site and just type right in the chat box there. Or if you're on Twitter, just go to @buparent and leave us your questions.
Hey, David, while we got you here, can we actually one more?
Yeah, sure.
Sue writes in from New Jersey. A student is unable to reach his assigned roommate. If this student does not attend, will my son have the room to himself, or will he be assigned another roommate?
Well,
Yeah, that's a great question.
That's a great question.
it's not like a plane where if somebody doesn't show up, you get to stretch out in the other seat, right?
Not for too long.
The bed would be filled. My hunch is, if Sue's son's roommate doesn't show up at the university, we'll discover that through our annual census. We take a census early in September to discover where precisely the open beds are. And typically the first step is we give a student 24 hours to pull in a friend. Now, if Sue's son's roommate notifies the housing office in the next couple of weeks that he's not coming to campus, then I am confident the housing office would assign Sue's son a new roommate.
Okay.
But just for clarification, just because her son cannot reach this roommate doesn't mean he's not coming.
Right.
They could be traveling overseas, they could be away at camp, they could be...
Any number of reasons why the student is not
right.
responding.
We've had this before, right? Yeah.
Hey, David, so here's this other thing that comes up. I fell into a Facebook bromance over the summer. Got this guy that I really enjoy because we met during orientation. Daryl and I met during orientation. You know, at first I thought I'd go with the random roommate, but Daryl's such a good guy. I want to live with him. I heard that before we move in, we might be able to swap rooms with other people because I figured something out with a swap. Is that possible?
Well, we have something called a one-to-one swap.
Right.
And ideally, we will physically campus, and they look at each other's spaces and meet each other's roommates. And if they feel like, one student from each pair would like to swap, there's a simple form to complete. It's available in the Res Life office that asks for all students to sign it. They are endorsing this swap. That's the best plan for everybody to meet, look at spaces, and agree that this is the best plan. If we've got the scenario like you just described, Elmore, and two students really want to arrange this prior to arriving, call the Residence Life office at 617-353-4380, 617-353-4380, and we can talk about it. We'd prefer to talk directly to the students about it. So that would be my best advice at this stage of the game.
All right, David, how about another one? Wendy from Lexington sends this. She says that her first priority on the housing survey was or is a specially academic housing unit. My student is very upset that this request wasn't accommodated. Can this be addressed?
So,
And specialty housing is a limit to the capacity. Of course.
right. So there would be X number of beds available on a specialty floor, and if the interest in that floor exceeded the number of available bed spaces, then we couldn't certainly accommodate everybody who'd expressed interest. That wouldn't prevent the student, though, from participating in floor events. So I would say to the student, I wouldn't be too terribly disappointed. Make a point of meeting the RA for the floor and learn through conversation with the RA how you can stay connected to the events that are happening on the floor. And as you meet students on the floor, you may discover somebody who'd want to swap with you, so you could move on to the floor and that individual could take your bed space wherever it is. So I think we have some creative solutions to the situation, and I wouldn't be too disappointed. I think really when you arrive, you will find that the students you meet on your floor, big important than the specific location of where you are.
Okay. Hey, those questions are coming in at 353 4126, and that's area code 617-617-353-4126. They're also coming in on the Ustream that you've got, and also we're getting questions via Twitter at BU Parent. David, here's another one that just came in from it looks like Bridget. Yeah, it looks like Bridget. Do you know the cost of a hotel that students stay in during the Thanksgiving break? And if so, what's the range? Now, by the way, students during Thanksgiving break in our large halls do need to leave those halls. And hopefully they're going home with friends if they live too far away. And a lot of students do. But we do get a small number of students who stay on campus, and we put them up in a hotel. Do you know the range of the cost for that?
Wow.
For those few days?
I haven't seen any rates for this coming year, but the room rate is the hotel rate is deeply discounted.
Yeah.
It's really the best deal in the city.
Yeah.
So if your student has no place to travel, when we close the halls for fall recess, Thanksgiving time, we would have vacation housing available for that Wednesday night, Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night, 4 nights. They would have a roommate. We do staff the hotel that we use with a member of the residence life staff, an RA, a resident assistant. So we try to set up a mini operation in the hall where there is res life available to folks. The dining rooms are closed. I do think that a lot of students who can't travel home will travel with friends to their friends' homes, or may go off on some adventure on their own.
Good.
But information on that period of housing called vacation housing will soon be out online on the housing website.
Yes, bu.edu/housing.
Okay, well, it looks like we are getting the signal from our trusty assistant, Kat, that we have to take a break. One more time, 617-353-4126. And Birgit, thank you for your question. And you can also use Ustream, the chat right there, to give us a question, or on Twitter at BUParent. So we're going to take a break right now. David, thanks for coming and joining us.
Thank you, David.
Stay safe. Stay. All right, we're back. Welcome to the Parents Program Afternoon Radio Show. We are having a blast with this. I want to remind you, you can call in at 617-353-4126, or you can just go right on the chat in the Ustream box that you're watching, or go to Twitter. And on Twitter, it's at @BUParent. And we will try and get as many of these questions as we can.
So during our break, our executive producer did some research, thank goodness to the internet, and we found out that during vacation housing period of fall recess, also Thanksgiving, it is $40 per night at the local hotel that Boston University uses, or $160 for the 4-day period. Same thing, $40 a night during intersession or Christmas recess, if you will. And spring of March 2015, it is a flat fee of $320 for the entire period. So again, it's $160 for Thanksgiving. $160 for Thanksgiving break. $40 a night during intersession over Christmas break, and $320 for the flat fee.
And what we'll do is we'll make sure that we post this right on our Facebook page. So if you go to the BU Parents Program Facebook page, you'll be able to also see this information too. Hey, so you can see someone popped into the seat. We were thankful that David Zaborski was just able to join us, and now we've got Orfeo Spear who's here. Orfeo is over at our Community Service Center, and you're going to take questions for us.
Excellent.
All right, so first things first, one more time. I get here for move-in on that Monday, and that is August the 25th. On August 25th, I drop everything sometime before. I'm going to have a lot of time in between to go hang around, go to the bookstore, walk around with my little sweetie and all that, right?
Not really.
Okay.
We will jump right into things. So we'll have some activities planned for folks. If they choose a little extra assistance on their travel itinerary, we'll have some options for them. And so we will help them out, pick them up at the airport or the train station, the bus station, whatever they indicate, should they indicate that extra service. And we will provide them with a list of things to do during that time frame.
So at 4 o'clock, by 4 o'clock, I can move in. And where do I need to be? What's the first event that happens as part of FYSOP?
So our opening ceremonies begins at 8 p.m. So we have everybody meet up with their groups starting at 7. So really 7 is that time to be there by. So that's our target time.
Okay, so you meet up at 7 and then you head on into an opening ceremony at 8. Who's being featured over the week? Give us some inside scoop about some of the things I should be excited about during FYSOP.
Well, during the week of FYSOP, we start off with an education day. We've got some speakers that we're at this time going to keep secret, because we want it to be a big surprise. But we've got some big name people coming in.
Michelle Obama?
Close.
No, don't. Not true. No.
But then Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday we'll have some good name people and some folks that really feel passionate about making the difference and making the world a better place. So some like.
Are you still taking applications for FYSOP, or is it complete?
Today should be the last day that we will be accepting applications. So
August
anybody still interested, we will accept applications up through today.
And we have a waiting list just in case?
Just in case.
Okay, great. You got some questions there. Why don't we get your first question?
Excellent. First question from Jean. What arrangements are made for parents moving? So parents will have a couple options. Once they get their moved in, they will have a reception to go to. The dean will be hosting, am I correct?
So it's a good time to talk about the parent pit stops, because we all Karen right here in Boston, and Karen is asking more about pit stops during FYSOP. So here's what happens on that Monday, August the 25th. What happens is this. Typically with parents drop their daughter or their son off, their student off. They get moved in, and then because Orfeo and his crew and those students are ready to go, they go right at it. And unfortunately, mom and dad are sort of sitting around and sometimes need a little something to do. So what we will do is we have these things we call parent pit stops. It's over at the BU Pub. The BU Pub is on Bay State Road. I believe the address is 235 Bay State Road?
Yes.
235 What's that?
25, 225.
Oh, 225 Bay State Road.
The
There's a
graphic
big.
is on the screen.
Oh, it's on the
right
screen right there. 225 Bay State Road, underneath a place called the Style Pub. We'll let you come on in, and you can get an adult beverage there if you would like one. And you know what else I got for you? As a parent, tissues. You may need them, especially if you got ditched. So tissues, adult beverages, and we'll console you. We'll chat with you. I'll be there with some of my staff and a number of people from around the university. And it's just a meet and greet for you to try and soothe your ditching wounds that you just received. So after they ditch their parents and they're with
And
you,
directions to the Mass Pike. Right?
well, you know, we will help you get to the Mass Pike, but don't drink and drive. We don't want you to do that. But we will, you know, at that point, we got to show you off. So we will have parent pit stops. We also will have parent pit stops, by the way, not just during that Monday on FYSOP, weekend during move-in. Is it
Friday, August 29th, and Saturday, August 30th, and all parent pit stops, including the FYSOP one on Monday, August 25th, are from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m.
That's right, and open to our parents, BU parents. Students cannot come into the pub, and it's open to parents.
So Orfeo, once again reiterate, parents are not welcome at the program.
With,
Correct.
yes, with love, a lot
Correct.
of love.
We've got so many folks that are interested in participating up this year. Just the physical space can only accommodate so many, and that would be your students. So we will welcome you, but also that being said, other arrangements that should you feel like or to move your students in, you will be allowed a one-time only up until midnight, and you'll be issued a wristband to go to your students' rooms and be able to help them in or to get that room situated if you needed to fluff the pillows or whatnot.
Right. And
you're able
the
to
reason
do
why
so.
we do the wristbands is it's a security measure. We want to make sure that only the people we know are supposed to be in the building.
Those folks will need to be present when the student goes to and those wristbands will be issued at that point.
And you will also have the same sorts of things for move-in, the big carts. We've got your staff that will be out there helping, all that sort of stuff. So again, believe it or not, it moves relatively. People tend to walk away surprised.
Yeah.
Let's get to another question, Orfeo.
All right, Gene's got a additional question that is registration is at noon, but the students cannot move in until 4 p.m. That's not necessarily the case. As you heard earlier in the earlier question that came up, we will have the available times posted or available, which dorm is actually available at that time, posted on our website live should they become open earlier. And I will say they often are. There will be some that are open first thing in the morning, but we'll have that list and we'll post it as soon as we're informed of it.
Okay.
Orfeo, I got an earlier question today during orientation. What arrangements are there for my son or daughter who's moving in for FYSOP for food? Do you feed them?
Oh, wow.
That's where our costs go, is feeding them. So we feed them, we take care of their transportation while they're there and out to service and to the various sites. But then we also, we've got to cover our fees for for living as well. So it becomes transportation, food, and
So breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
yeah, you
Yep.
got it. We don't try to starve them at all. They've got
Okay.
a lot of service and a lot of activities, so we make sure that they get working this year with our folks from the Scarlet folks.
Scarlet Squad.
Over with the Office with Nutrition, and so we are sure that they've got some really nutritious options, even despite whether they're vegan or gluten-free or any of their allergies or
So
whatnot.
you're here to tell me that not only going to feed them, you're going to take like gluten,
Got it.
carbs, and kosher, and
Healthy
vegan, and
food.
vegetarian.
Healthy
so
options.
the works.
The works.
Okay.
Not bad. Well, Orfeo, we just got the sign that we've got to start to take a break. Thanks for joining us, and
Thank you.
Hey, have a great FYSOP. My understanding is about 25,000 hours in a week.
That's about it.
Wow, that's pretty good.
Yeah,
That's-
we'll be making a really big impact.
Man, that makes us proud.
Yeah, paying it forward.
Want to remind folks that you can call in at 617-353-4126, or you can go right on the chat at Ustream where you may be watching this, or if you feel more comfortable, go on to Twitter and leave a message at @BUParent. Tweet at @BUParent, and we will be more than happy to try and take your question.
We will be right back.
We sure will. Thanks, Orphea.
Thank you.
All right, we're welcoming you back to the Parents Program Radio Show. I'm Kenn Elmore, and I'm here with
Daryl.
And we are taking your questions this afternoon. Remember, you can call in at 617-353-4126, and you can also, right there in the Ustream chat, just go ahead and type in some questions. We'll try to get to those. And if you're on Twitter, we're at BUParent, and we'll do our best to try and answer your questions. So, without further ado, why don't you introduce our next guest?
Sure. Robert Flynn from the Boston University Dining Services joined us. Good afternoon, Robert. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Dean.
You're welcome. We got some questions around the dining plan and dining options. So, Nancy from Los Angeles, I'm going to get right to it and pitch this question to you. Nancy from Los Angeles writes in, please discuss what meal options are available to their child.
As far as different meals that we offer,
No, just meal plan options.
plan options.
Because there's nothing to eat around here, Robert.
There's a pretty good list on our website, but we have the unlimited plan, which is basically exactly what it says. Eat as much as you like, as often as you like. There's the 14 meal plan. That's probably the most popular one. And again, that's just what it says. You're 14 meals a week. So your student will have to figure out, are they eating breakfast every day? Or maybe they're not having lunch, but they're going to have dinner. The great thing about these plans is the students will have until probably to make a change, because they've got to figure out what their schedule is like. It's going to be totally different for them coming to college. Maybe they're not going to be eating lunch every day, or maybe their friends are eating dinner and they want to go and eat dinner with them at this certain time. So I encourage everyone to look at the different plans that we offer, look at their schedule, because again, they're not going to eat all. But they all come with dining points as well.
Well,
The unlimited plan comes with dining points, but not as many dining points as, say, the 14-meal plan or the 9-meal plan. But again, these dining points can be used maybe if they just want a yogurt instead of going in and swiping for a meal. So on our website, it says plans and points, and they can find all this information. But again, the 14-meal plan is one of the most popular ones that we offer.
And Robert, something important you said there. You said a couple of things. First off, they can change this almost until the end of the semester. And then secondly, I think that other thing that you pointed out was maybe just pick a plan, come here, figure out what your lifestyle's like. When are you eating most often? When are you getting together with people? When are you snacking and just getting smaller things versus others? Figure your routine out. You don't know your routine yet, but give it a couple of weeks and you can change it to what you want. I think that's a great piece of advice for people.
That's so true, Dean, because again, they're coming from high school. And it's totally new. It's a totally new situation they're in. So take your time. Figure out your class schedule. If you're working, where you're living, take your time, and that's why they have all this time to make this change if it's not working for them. But don't rush into any decisions when it comes to your meal plan. Take your time, and I believe if they don't sign up for a meal plan, they automatically are enrolled into the 14-meal plan when they arrive on campus.
Okay.
And Robert, that is great advice indeed. And so it doesn't matter what meal plan option you have. Can a student eat in any one of the 3 dining halls on campus?
Yes. Yes, they can. Warren Towers, West Campus, Marciano Commons, any of these meal plans will work there. And there's also Hillel House Dining Hall, and they accept the kosher meal.
Excellent. And so, Robert, just getting on that a little bit, you're basically telling me that if I'm kosher, if I'm gluten-free, if I am vegetarian, if I'm allergic to certain things, all that, you folks have got that under control?
I'm sorry, what was the question?
So if you folks have got it under control if it's kosher, gluten-free.
Oh, yes. As far as kosher, we've got, Hillel House, like I mentioned, all kosher meals under supervision and everything like that. Hillel House. We've got gluten-free options. Commons are, not brand new years now, but got a totally gluten-free kitchen. Everything prepared there, all gluten-free, and they've got this huge gluten-free pantry with snacks and things you can heat up. No cross-contamination whatsoever. We've got a vegan kitchen as well at Marciano Commons. So, if you suffer from an allergy, if you observe, religions, we can cover that, and we can help you eat. That's the most important thing. You're not going to starve. We're going to make sure you eat when you get to campus.
Okay, Robert, I got one more question I want to pitch to you. It's sort of a basic one. From Seattle writes in, how do you add points to their student's Terrier ID card? Is there an easy way or an easy answer for that?
My suggestion is to go to our website, and right on our website there's a plans and points section.
And what's your website, Robert?
bu.edu/dining.
That's bu.edu/dining. And right on that website.
And there's a plans and points section right on the front page on how parents can purchase things for their students as far as points and how to add convenience points and such. And again, there's links they can follow. There's a big link. It's called Point. Give a point. It's a link we have on our website, and basically it'll instruct them to fill out the student's name, their student ID, and it'll run them through the process of how they can add convenience points, meal plan, dining card, and it could be a friend. Anybody can do this.
Perfect. Thank you so much. That sounds so easy. Another question, Joan writes into us from Albany. How many convenience points should I to have at the beginning of school?
1 million, right?
Yeah.
Is there any guide there, Robert, that you can give that parent, that Joan from Albany?
Yeah, convenience points, they're not food. They can buy at the bookstore, they can use them in vending machines, they can do laundry. So that's going to be somewhere where the student and the parent are going to have to look at their budget and see, where they're going to be spending these convenience points. Do they want to use convenience points just for food? Do they want to say, okay, we're going to buy food, but also I'll use laundry, but I'm not going to buy anything at the bookstore? So that's going to be something that the parent and the student are going to have to talk about.
Yeah.
When they get to campus and figure out where they want to use these.
Sounds like another.
But again, the thing about convenience points, you can add as many as you like, anytime you like.
So
and convenience points are good while your student is enrolled at BU for their entire 4 years or beyond.
Good. So another lifestyle kind of question. If you drink,
Exactly.
you could use them for coffee and for laundry, and that's it, or other things as well.
Right.
Hey Robert, we have got the signal that we have got to run. We always appreciate when you come, and we hope that people will check you out at bu.edu/dining. Hey, and tell us where you are on social media, because you folks have some great social media accounts.
Great social media department, and all our channels are free: Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, especially at BU Dining Service. No X at the end. BU Dining Service. You can get all of our social media that way. 24 hours a day, almost 7 days a week. If you've got a comment about anything going on campus, or if you're a parent, question, tweet us, and within 15 minutes you'll get a response from us day or night.
Awesome. Well, Robert, thank you.
Thank you for having me, teams.
Thank you, Robert. Yep. Have a good day.
Take care.
So once again, go ahead and send your questions in at 617-353-4126 or via the Ustream chat on right now, or you can go to Twitter at BUParent. We're going to take a break, and we'll be right back with some more special guests. All right, we're back. Welcome back to the Parents Program radio show. I'm here with Dean DeLuca, and we're taking your questions. We're at 617-353-4126 if you want to call in with a question. And we can also take questions via the Ustream chat site or on Twitter at BUParent. And look, lo and behold, who do we have here sitting with us?
Coach Jones.
Jones.
Joe Jones.
Men's head basketball coach, Coach Jones in the house.
Welcome.
Hey, it's great. Thanks for being here with us, because I know people think that all these guys do in the summer is sit around and eat bonbons. Right? But what do you do? What's your summer like?
Oh God, yeah. So it's pretty involved. We run 3 different camps. We do a ton of recruiting at that time. A lot of kids coming on campus, us going off campus. We spend most of the month of July traveling around the country looking at young prospects. So it's a busy time, but I like it that way.
All right.
Speaking of young prospects,
That's right.
Talk to us a little bit about the incoming freshman class.
And we're really proud of our class. We starts with a kid by the name of Nick Haydener from Florida. Terrific player. He's a forward, very athletic player, lefty. We have a guard coming from St. Anthony's, which is a great program, well coached, terrific guard, really good shooter. We think he can play some 1 and 2. And then probably the kid that we probably need the most from is Eric Johnson, who's a point guard, played in Virginia, but he's from North Carolina, went to Carlisle High School, won a state championship, and obviously a lot is going to be left on his shoulders to be able to carry the burden of being the point guard as a freshman.
And then you got a bunch of guys coming back too.
Yeah, we have a really nice group. So we have 2 transfers that sat out last year. Both guys should be able to step in and help us play, help us go. And then we have a core of upperclassmen in John Papali, Justin Austin, and Nate Dudney, who all have played significant minutes, that should be able to anchor our team and give us some support and leadership.
Right. So, Coach, you had a great run last year, great season last year. But one of the things I think is I would have loved to have seen more people coming out to watch games.
Sure.
So give these folks a sense as to why even parents should come to games.
Well, first of all, it's a really exciting brand of basketball. We led our league in scoring last couple of years, so it's a team that gets up and down. If you love to watch athletes get up and down, this is a great venue to come to. Also in the Gaddis Arena, which is a great venue to come and watch us play. So the style of play is great. The venue is amazing. And it's a really, really high level of basketball. You're talking about a team that won 24 games, beat Maryland at Maryland, and then lost to 3 teams that made the NCAA tournament and made a game. But each one of those games that we played that we lost, we had a lead in the second half of the game. So it's a really high level of basketball. And a bunch of great student athletes, people that you're going to be proud to say, hey, they're great. They're great players, and they're guys that played at BU.
And I see a lot of your players, like all of them. I see them at other student events. You see them around. They're not these isolated people around campus. They are students. In fact, there were a few of them. I didn't know players until I saw them out on the court, because they're doing things that other students do.
No question. We have a very high GPA for our team. We have guys that have internships. So these guys are doing all the things that normal students do, and they're achieving at a very high level on the court. So this is a great team to go out and support. It's just a team that you're going to be proud of.
Excellent.
And Coach, I want to take this opportunity to really extend our gratitude and appreciation, because last year during that great run during the season, we hosted, and the parents program hosted, quite a number of events at Tees Pub before and after games, and the folks came out, the parents came out, and they were very supportive of the team, and you showed us that love right back again. So
that's right.
We're going to continue to do that.
Yeah, you always showed up. Your team always came by. The BU band comes in. So I certainly hope, I know we're going to continue to host some more parents over at Tees Pub, and I hope you folks will still join us over there.
No question. And we really appreciate your support. You guys the dean would sit right on press row at times, and that was always great to have.
I don't like sitting on press row because you can't cheer.
You could cheer.
No, I didn't want to get thrown out. I don't want to get a tech or anything.
He's got to behave himself.
Yeah. But those events are great, and it's great for our players to see that type of support coming from the BU community. And I've gotten emails from some of the parents that have attended the games and have met some of our players as well, and say nothing but great things. So we want to definitely keep that relationship going.
Good. And how about other BU athletics? We don't start the year with basketball. We start with a bunch of other sports.
Sure.
Talk to us a little bit about the first time a student can engage a little bit more and see what this high level, quality, smart set of athletes are about.
Well, let me start here. I've worked at 4 other universities, Villanova being one of them, that school down the street that we won't mention being another one as well. This is the best athletic department from top to bottom. You're talking about teams that all achieve at a very high level. The number of championships that we played in last year and won was enormous. So it's a high level program that the students are achieving great in the classroom, on the fields, and also in the community. A ton of community service that we do. When you're talking about going out and watching our women's soccer team perform, and they're conference champions. Our field hockey team played in the conference championship last year. From top to bottom, this is a great athletic program. And again, student athletes that you're going to be proud that they're representing you.
And you know what I love too is that a student can go to any sporting event and will not be turned. My understanding from my friends' venues is that even if it's a standing room ticket, students never get turned away, and so you've got to camp out for days, and that you've got to compete with the rest of the market. If you're a student, you get to go watch other students. I think that's an important piece.
And they're all such great kids. I myself work out a little bit in the morning, so I have a chance to get to know the other athletes. And what a great group of young people to be around. It's one of the things I love best about working at BU. Not only are the coaches great people, but the student athletes are wonderful.
Great. Good. So what we're going to do now is we're going to do a little transition. Are we bringing Christy on right now? Yes. All right, Christy, come on into the picture. Christy runs our parents program, so we're going to have Christy come on in and get into the conversation, because what we're going to do is a lightning round of questions. We're going to get as many as we can get in the next 5 minutes, and between the four of us, we're answering questions. All right. Hey, Christy, this is Christy Lauren. Christy is head of our parents program, so you'll hear from her, you'll see her, and all that good stuff. Thanks for joining us.
Absolutely.
All right, here we go. First question. Ready? So we got Joan from Albany, and Joan's asking, what type of T-pass does my daughter need, if any? What do you say?
I say, don't buy a T-pass beforehand. Once you get on campus, figure it out. Test some waters. The majority of students walk around campus. That's the number one form of transportation. Students are fortunate to have the Boston University shuttle that's available 7 days a week on campus from 7 till 3 a.m. And the third option is the train. And I recommend that folks pick up a Charlie card and load it up with $20. Start off with that and use it for a portion of time, unless they have a committed internship or employment downtown where they're going to be on the train every single day. A full-time T-pass is not necessarily required.
Yeah, well, there it is once again. Figure out what your lifestyle is like before you go buying things that you don't need. Whether it's dining points, whether it's a T-pass, whether it's a bike, I mean, all that sort of stuff. Just wait a little on that. And so here's this other question I think that's related to it. I get asked, should I bring a car to campus?
We strongly discourage.
No.
Strongly discourage.
There's nowhere to park it. Yeah. It's expensive. If your insurance company finds out you're garaging a car in Boston later, it's over for you. Not
necessary.
Yeah, if there's one place in the country where you don't need a vehicle, this would be one, for sure.
Hey, Joan, thanks for writing in.
Next question is from Jody, and she asked, how long is the matriculation ceremony going to take place? Dean Elmore, you're up there on stage.
I am up there.
How long is this matriculation?
I am. Matriculation.
And where is it at?
Yeah, so first off, let me tell you what the day is like. Remember what David Zamoyski says. Try to make sure that if you're moving in over the weekend, the move-in weekend, you want to be in by noon on Sunday, and here's why. Starting at noon on Sunday, we get you into your location so that you can march down to matriculation. That's right, I said it. We march through the streets of Boston from one end of campus down to the arena, and we get you all in. Parents, you can come and watch, and we'll be giving you some more information about that. We have a ceremony to induct you in to this new Boston University community. And matriculation lasts for approximately 2 hours.
Excellent. Another question from a person who writes in, what is the schedule for Parents Weekend? Christy.
I want to let you know that the schedule for Parents Weekend will be posted online on Friday, September 12th. But if you're looking to book your flights now, you should know that most of the events begin Friday, late in the afternoon, early evening, generally with the deans at the schools and colleges hosting receptions. And then the bulk of the events are taking place on Saturday. And on Sunday, most events are wrapped up by around noontime. Mm-hmm. We understand that people are traveling for Parents Weekend, and so we build a schedule around them.
So keep an eye out. Thanks, Christy. Joe, you got a question over there.
Yes, it says, if my student is struggling academically, what resources are available to him? I think the big thing that I've found is that, first and foremost, the professors are amazing in terms of when kids are struggling or not doing well. So I would really let you know that you need office hours and have that type of relationship with your professor.
Boom, bingo. Say that again, Joe. Go to office hours. So many students leave professors stranded in their office. They're waiting there to help you out. Start by going to office hours and put your shame aside and say, I just don't understand what's going on here. And especially where professors will give you a test pretty early in the semester. Part of why they're doing that is so that you can gauge how well you're doing.
I would say, let your daughter or son understand that if they don't do well on that first exam, things are going to be okay. A lot of this is being able to understand what it is like to take a test here at the college level.
And to supplement Coach Jones's response, for everyone, the ERC, the Educational Resource Center, is available, and they provide academic support and tutoring services to all students on campus. And
I've been very pleased with the help that we've gotten here on campus for our players.
I'm going to take one that just came over the stream. It says, my daughter is a spring admit. She's going to be starting in the spring. Will there be programs for her to meet friends and join in? Of course. We have weeks of welcome that we do in the fall, and we have a similar set of programs that we will do in January as well. We'll have a move-in that happens. We also do orientation. So if you're coming in January and you haven't done orientation during the summer, you'll do it in January. And we have lots of ways that we do meet and greets all around campus. Sometimes it's a program or an activity. Sometimes it is just that, a meet and greet. But we have a lot of ways that we try to make sure to engage you in the Boston University community. All right, can we get another one in?
One more.
We can get one more question in.
Real basic one. Where do I mail a check for tuition payment?
Well,
Does that go to the athletic department? And do I include my student's university ID on the check? Well, my understanding is you can make payments online. You can also send payments to Boston University, 881 Commonwealth Avenue, Boston, Massachusetts, 02215. And I would strongly advise that you have your son or daughter's university ID number on the check. To Dean Elmore's account or my account.
That's right. Wow. Yeah. Well, I think we do have to wrap it up. Any last words for our parents out there in Parents Program?
Actually, yes, I would like to first thank everyone who participated in this radio show. It's great to have parent involvement. And Dean Elmore and Dean DeLuca mentioned at the beginning of the show that they were also hosting a reception, a barbecue for students who had worked all summer long during the orientation. And if you didn't know better, you would think you were at a barbecue at Dean Elmore's home with his family members. And what I want to share with you is that you is a family. You're sending your students to a family. This is going to become home away from home. So rest assured that they're in a good place. They will be happy, they're secure, and they will be very comfortable and well cared for here. So thank you.
Thanks, Christy.
Well said.
And Coach, thanks for coming out. This is great. I know you've got a lot on your plate, and we appreciate you spending a little time with us.
It is great to come and spend some time with you as always, Dean. Thank you so much.
We look forward to the season.
Yes,
Best
we
of
sure
luck.
do.
We do,
Good luck.
very much.
Thank you.
Hey, that's it, folks. We got to do this again, and we got to maybe
Absolutely.
take 90 minutes the next time.
Absolutely.
All right. So, hey, thanks for joining us, folks. This has been recorded. You'll be able to see download this at some other point. And what we're going to do is put our heads together and think a little bit about how we might be able to do a bit more of this in the future. So, thank you. It was a rousing success.
We can't wait to see you on campus.
All the best. Good
Thank
luck and
you.
safe travels.